Hello, Internet, and welcome back to JO Plays. And let's get right into it this week because I've been playing a few things, one of them being excuse me, one of them being Moss on the PC, or I should say VR. And quite frankly, this is one of the most beautiful platformers I have ever played, or have my eyes are coming across. It is so the detail, the way everything is done in VR. It's not. It's it's a literally a platformer with 3D dimensions where you control the character made to be, and it's just puzzle solving each area. You're in the area, figure out the puzzle to get out of the area, and it's one of the most well done and one of the most beautiful games I've seen in a long time, and if you're able to get it for VR, absolutely it's worth the purchase price. Or if you don't have VR and you have a PlayStation 4, I think it's out on PlayStation 4 also. And yeah, just enjoy it. You can enjoy it with VR or without VR on PlayStation 4. Sorry if I'm always vague when it comes to my description of games or anything or movies in general. I just don't like spoiling anything, and I don't like revealing too much because I would like you to go out and experience it yourselves. So I hope you understand my my lack of explanation. But yeah, for Moss, it's you're just a little mouse, a little field mouse that's named Quill, and you're pretty much reading a story and being told the story of Moss, but at the same time you're controlling Moss, or Quill, I should say. Moss is the name, is the story. But Quill is really adorable. It's a cute character, and this as a field mouse, it's one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. It's just really nice. And if you have children, or or you yourself like platformers, yeah, check it out. Like I said, and the whole thing about it is that you're going on this venture. Your grandfather gets kidnapped because you found out this thing, and he went to investigate. And next, he disappears or he gets captured. From there, you go out and seek out and try to rescue him. And then all the platforming starts and continues. And I think that's where it truly shines as a game. Other than just the visuals, it truly shines as a game. You really have to, sometimes for a lot of these puzzles, you really do have to think a little bit outside the box, as the old saying goes. But yeah, enjoy yourselves with Moss. I think I give it a great recommendation. Also, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC, and oh my god, that is another beautiful game on that system. It's originally a PlayStation 4 title, which Sony graciously, thankfully, I should say, um, put it on PC, and it just shines. I played it. I have the PlayStation version, but the PC version just runs. Everything runs better on the PC version. Just optimized better, I get, considering there's more horsepower to give the game. And if the beefier PC you have, the better it's gonna run. And yeah, that's another game. It's like, just think, what can I say? Tomb Raider meets Indiana Jones, kinda. But yeah, it's the game had the misfortune of coming out at the same time as Breath of the Wild did years ago, and I on the PlayStation when that came out with Breath of the Wild, I chose Breath of the Wild over this. It was just I was just more of a Zelda fan, but this I just came back to this now, and yeah, I honestly I can't wait to go back and continue playing this. So far, the game looks amazing. I just have to renew, yeah, and just gotta get used to the game mechanics all over again. But other than that, yeah, that's another worth buy if you especially if you're able to get it on sale. Yeah, definitely if you're able to get it on sale, go through the game. You'll love it. The main character, her name is Eloy, and it's a world where it takes place far into the future, dystopian Earth, where humans have are pretty much almost all gone, the world is pretty much run by robotic machines, and you're part of this one tribe or an outcast of this one tribe, and you just go and you decide to go on this adventure to find out the secrets of who your parents are, because you were raised by an adopted father. Jeez, I couldn't say that. And so yeah, and he ends up passing away because he ends up trying to save your life. Yeah, he unfortunately ends up dying. Like a lot of these stories, like everybody takes a page from the Disney book of kill everybody's parents to make them go on adventures and stuff. I just don't understand that. Yeah, like all the heroes and all the protagonists and everything, their parents must tragically die. Like, come on already. But yeah, but the story and the world on this is the story is pretty decent. The world is huge. It's fantastic. The adventures and the stuff you get to do, and then the dungeons are extremely hard for just typical dungeons. I found it very challenging. Yeah, so if you like challenging game, if you like good dungeons, and you just want an interesting story, a unique story, I suggest you go and get this out. Again, especially if it's on a sale, if it's if you can find it for $40 or $30 on sale, absolutely, just hit that buy button and just start enjoying yourselves. But that's my review for Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, that does it for this week's for video games. Next week I might talk about Senses. I just got that for the Switch, which is my only console other than the PC. I just got Sense because it was such under such controversy. I just needed to check it out why, and so yeah, that game is gonna be very interesting to play. I can't wait to play it and just see what it's about. So let's move on to American Gods. I've watched the first two episodes going, and so far so good. Again, I do acknowledge that the humans need a lot of better writing. Maybe it's because this was done in a single book. This was just a one book thing, and now they're stretching out one book into literally like what 3, 4, 5 seasons. Which because of this, I think because of this lack of material and this lack of everything, because it's a single book, it just the characters feel empty. Like the human characters feel everything, and all the emphasis is put on the gods for character development. And yeah, unfortunately, that's the way I feel about it. I felt about it like that for the past 2 seasons. Also, it's like the gods are the most interesting part of this whole situation, this whole thing, because that's what it's really about. Not the humans are just there, and which I am happy though that the show started with killing the one character I really disliked more than Shadow Moon, which was his wife. Yeah, they finally killed her off. I hope I don't get to see her again anymore. And yeah, I hope she's just gone with done with the show. I just never liked that character. I don't know if it's because of the actress playing her or what, but yeah, that character is just I never liked it. It was just a waste of my time for me. 2 seasons of her was way too much. Yeah. Ian McShane, however, as Mr. Wednesday, is just always, no matter what Ian McShane does, he just destroys that role. He's so amazing. One of my favorite roles he ever did was the television adaptation of the David and Goliath story, where they bring it to modern times, and he played the king there. Forgot the king. I don't know the story too well, but this happened years ago, and he was so amazing. I literally just wanted to keep watching that story just to watch Ian McShane act, and then him in Deadwood also was truly astounding. Another standout for me is Yadidi Babaki. Sorry if I mispronounce her name, but she plays Bilquis, the goddess of love, I guess. And wow, she's just amazing in this. And also Mr. World, or Miss World as it is now, with Kristen Glover. uh, gone from the show, I guess, and they changed it to Miss World being this black woman now, actress, which I kind of like because it's just telling you that because it's a god, it understands that humans, especially if it kind of plays into the whole situation. Like, oh, you don't want to see white man no more? Well, I'll give you a black woman. That's what you want to see. I'll give you what you want to see. I kind of like that. It speaks to the current situation when it comes to culture, pop culture, and things of that sort, where it's just giving you what you want, and it doesn't care what it is. It just wants you to watch, and it will give it to you no matter what it is. If you want that, we'll give you that because we want you to watch. If you want if you want this, we'll give you this. If you want that other thing, we'll give you that other thing. It doesn't matter what it is, we'll give it to you. And also, but the woman that's playing Mr. World or Mrs. World now, she is, oh my god, that introduction with her, it is so good. She she is so ruthless in this introduction of her, of this new version of World, and it is just, oh wow, I'm like, that is brilliant. Just get, she's like, or is it a she because change sex? Is it or World? I just call it World. So ruthless, and it's like, just get it done. I don't want to. I don't want to hear BS's. I don't want to hear no. I don't want to hear I can't. Just get it done. Yeah, and that's where I'm at with this. And this is where I'm at with, again, the American Gods. Like I said before, the most interesting part about this show is literally the gods and not the human characters. The human characters are not even necessary to move the story along, really, other than use them as a proxy for the audience. And that's really, honestly, I wish storytelling would move on from using proxies. We really don't need a proxy anymore. People are. I feel like I'm smart enough to understand what's going on. I don't need a proxy telling me, "Oh wow, can you explain that to me?" type of thing. But yeah, we're gonna still have that for a while. That's it for American Gods. And also, don't forget to email me to continue the conversation on jlplayspodcast at gmail.com. And now we're going to go to our main event, which is.
You Jake Sully?
I'd like to talk to you about a fresh start on a new world. You'd be making a difference.
I became a Marine for the hardship. I told myself I can pass any test a man can pass. All I ever wanted was a single thing worth fighting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not in Kansas anymore. You are on Pandora.
You should see your faces.
We have an indigenous population called the Na'vi. They are very hard to kill.
This is why we're here. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. Their village happens to be resting on the richest deposit, and they need to relocate. Those savages are threatening our whole operation. We're on the brink of war, and you're supposed to be finding a diplomatic solution.
And that was part of the trailer for Avatar, the 2009 movie made by James Cameron, starring Zoe Saldana, Sam Wellington, and Sigourney Weaver. And let me start off by saying, yes, this is going to be pure spoilers. If you haven't watched an 11-year-old movie yet, you're not going to watch it. So here we go. Full spoilers, people. First, let me start with saying that when I first watched this movie when it came out back in 2009 in the theaters with my family members, and I literally saw it for what it was. It was just Pocahontas / Dances with Wolves / many others that if you watch this, you know what I mean. This movie borrows so much from so many just to make this. So when I first watched it, I really pretty much consider this to be a a very basic movie, not even really worth the admission price for the movie theater. It's like because it was pure gimmick. For far as I was concerned, it was just a 3D gimmick movie, and I personally hate 3D. I hate 3D. I hate 3D films. I think they're garbage because they're never done right. But watching this movie again after 11 years, oh my goodness, how amazingly well this movie has aged. As far as the CG and even for me, even the story for me, this movie has aged so well for me. I'm like, I have done a complete 180 on it. I think this movie deserves a lot of praise for what it's done and did. Also, but what I love more than anything is honestly the CG, just the animations. This thing still looks better than the modern Marvel movies when it comes to CG. And the main reason why is because James Cameron took his time, let the graphic designers take their time to make everything perfect and come to life as much as possible, and it worked. Unlike Marvel movies where they were just coming out year after year, and the animators were literally working to the last minute to make it, to make those scenes, those CG scenes. And quite frankly, yes, they look amazing on the big screen. They looked amazing, but you could always tell the flaws. You always see the flaws. Perfect example is Tony Stark's head in Infinity Wars, where it's just literally is a floating head with a CG body walking around, and sometimes it just doesn't match. Also, the Black Panther ending fight scene, which is Black Panther versus Killmonger at the end. It is horrible. It is some of the most atrocious CG I've ever seen in a movie, like on a Hollywood budget movie. I felt like I seen better CG on a Sci-Fi Channel movie when I first saw that in the theaters. I was very disappointed with that. But this, an 11-year-old movie that has still, and I do mean still, holds up to the modern CG films that we love and adore today. It is amazing. I just for that aspect alone, I truly love this movie. It shows what you can do if you actually put the work in and let your people do their jobs and give them the time they need. Other than that, the movie itself it was really fun, but extremely long. At 2.5 hours long, I literally found myself taking a break every 30 to 40 minutes because you feel it. I'm sorry, but you feel the 2.5 hours in this movie. You feel those hours, and it's still, even with that, even if you are gonna rewatch this, after listening to me, yeah, prepare yourself. Give yourself like 40 minutes to an hour. Take a break. That will also help you, which helped me take in everything I was seeing, because the movie is truly beautiful. It is stunning. The world that they created is stunning. The animals. There's a lot of cinematography porn in here. What I mean by that is that it's just shots of all the landscape of the animals, and it's just taking its time, letting you breathe in the world, which you don't get in any fast paced action films or anything like that. Even like the Marvel films. Marvel films is pop 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 pop. This is pop 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 pop, and it is. I was so happy, not just happy, but I was truly just enjoying myself. The characters, Zoe Saldana, her work in this, you actually feel the characters. Sam Wellington really did do a great job with the little bit of dialogue he did, and yes, the story is, if you're looking for great story, yeah, you're not gonna find it. Like, you know what you're getting when you're watching this Avatar film. But I'm sorry, but the actors held this film together. As far as story is concerned, the actors did an amazing job holding this thing together. but you're here for the spectacle, and the spectacle is 100% worth the admission price. If you're here in the States and you have Disney Plus, watch it on Disney Plus. If you're not in the States and you don't have Disney Plus where you're at, I'll leave a link for the Amazon to rent it on Amazon, and or rent it. You can even rent it wherever you like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Amazon. That's the link I'm gonna put in, and yeah, you can rent it wherever you like. Apple TV, Google, YouTube or whatever, and yeah, just watch this movie again. Watch it with a fresh pair of eyes. Don't go in critical. Don't even let my review and my enthusiasm for the film stop you from enjoying it. This film is truly a wonder right now in 2021. Again, honestly, other than a few the only thing I saw that didn't age well for me was the stickers that they had for the human world, for the human base, where it was supposed to be like a door, but you obviously notice that it's actually just a sticker. They're not an actual like latch for a door or anything like that. It just it really looked bad, and that was the main thing that stood out for me. Yeah, this movie, to me, the characters, everything, and just and when he goes and gets that, darn it, I forgot what they called it. I just watched it and I forgot what they called it. That giant, when Sam Wellington's character goes and gets that giant bird from the sky, and you see him, the transition between the flight scenes here. The flight scenes are just amazing. The CG, the actors. Michelle Rodriguez also is in the movie, I should say, and boy, she's there to just, like, her dialogue, her lines felt like forced. Like, we need to have her say something, and so they just had to say, "Yeah, ha ha ha." What the hell? Like, what is up with those lines that they had her say? But yeah, you'll notice it once you watch it again. Like, a lot of the dialogue is clunky, but it's still, like I said, I'm just repeating myself over and over again. I'm sorry. Also, big ups to Stephen Lang. He played one of the best over the top bad guys. I should say atypical bad guys that I have seen in a film in forever. Like, he plays one of the best atypical bad guys I've seen. Yeah, it is just, the movie is truly fun. Go watch it. Go rewatch it if you haven't watched it in as long as I have. Definitely, if you spend 11 years that you have not seen this movie, go watch it. It is that fun. It is. You will have fun rewatching this film, and that's my recommendation for this week is Avatar by James Cameron. Go out, enjoy it. And if you like what I've said today, just remember you can always email me at jlplayspodcast@gmail.com, and it's in the description below also. Thank you again for listening. One last thing, sorry for all the babbling that I've done through this review. Yeah, I'm still not a very good talker, as y'all can hear, but I hope to be getting better, and I will be doing better. Thank you for your time once again, and enjoy your day or evening.